Welcome to the Money Making Minds YouTube channel. So let me ask you something. Have you ever looked at the stock market and just seen a ticket out, a path to a totally new life? Well, if you have, this story is for you. It's a story about hope, it's about greed, and it's about the absolutely brutal lessons the market teaches when that dream turns into a nightmare.
I mean, it's the ultimate fantasy, isn't it? Quitting your 9 to 5, being your own boss, making a real living from just your laptop. Today we're going to follow one man who tried to live that dream, and we're going to see exactly what happened when it all came crashing down around him.
All right, so let's dive right in. Our story starts with, well, a hero who's a lot like most of us. Just a totally normal guy with a very, very common dream.
So this is Ryan Mitchell, and while he's 40 now, our story actually kicks off about 10 years ago. Back then, Ryan was living in Indianapolis, just doing the whole standard middle-class thing. You know, he and his wife Sarah had regular jobs, and their financial situation was, well, let's just say it was pretty ordinary.
So what does ordinary look like? Well, together they were bringing in about $60,000 a year. And look, after all the bills were paid, they were able to sock a little bit away, but Ryan always had this feeling, this hunger for something more. He was just desperate for a way to break out of that daily grind. And then it happened. The little seed was planted. A guy he works with just casually mentions making $2,000, that's $2,000, in a single week from trading. So that night, Ryan does what we all do. He goes down the YouTube rabbit hole. And suddenly, every video is promising six-figure incomes, Lamborghinis, financial freedom. This, he thought, this is it. This is my path. All right, let's see how this all starts to unfold, because this is where Ryan's journey really begins. And it's also where that bright, shiny hope of his collides head-on with the cold, hard reality of the market. So, first up, day trading. He jumps in, and for a few weeks, it's a mix of small wins, small losses, nothing crazy. But then, he gets into a trade that immediately starts going against him. And what does he tell himself? No big deal. It'll come back tomorrow. Famous last words, right? It didn't come back. 4 long days later, he finally gives up and closes the position. Poof. $600 just gone. And that was his first major emotional mistake. He let a simple day trade turn into a multi-day hope and pray disaster.
So now he's angry, he's frustrated. He figures, okay, day trading isn't for me. So he pivots. He goes for options because he's still believing all that YouTube hype that says this is where the real money is made, and fast. He jumps in and buys a weekly option on the SPY. That big fund that basically tracks the entire S&P 500. But the market moves against him, and with options, especially weekly ones, the value, that premium you paid, can just evaporate. And that's exactly what happened. In just a few days, another $1,500 gone. The losses weren't just getting bigger, they were happening way, way faster.
And you'd think that would be the wake-up call, right? But this is where things go from bad to so much worse. This is Ryan's moment of crisis. This is where pure panic completely takes the wheel.
He's so desperate to win that money back, he does something he'll regret for the rest of his life. He lies. He lies to his own father, borrowing $2,000, telling him it was for a car, when really, it was just to feed his trading addiction.
So now he's got about $7,000 total in his account. After those first losses, he's down to $4,900. So what does he do? He goes all in, every last cent, on one big risky tech stock. And for 2 days, it actually works. He's thinking, this is it, the comeback. But then, on the third day, disaster. Bad news hits overnight, the stock gaps down, meaning it opens way, way lower, and his entire account is just obliterated, wiped out.
The money disappearing was one thing, but it was nothing compared to the personal cost. When he finally had to confess to his wife, Sarah, she didn't yell, she didn't cry, she just went silent. And that silence, he said, absolutely destroyed him from the inside. He hadn't just lost money, he had broken her trust. That was rock bottom.
So, what happens when you hit the absolute lowest of lows? You have a choice. And Ryan, he made a different one this time. He didn't go looking for another get-rich-quick scheme. No. He started searching for real wisdom.
He turned off the YouTube gurus, all those hype merchants promising easy money, and instead, he turned to books, the classics. He started reading about the legends of trading, and for the very first time, he started to get it. The market wasn't a casino you could beat. It was a complex system you had to understand.
And honestly, this slide shows the whole ballgame right here. His entire mindset shifted. He went from that old way of thinking, pure emotional conviction, just believing a stock had to go up, to a new mindset, one based on mathematics. He started analyzing the process, managing risk, and thinking in terms of probability.
Okay, so how do you actually put a new mindset like that into practice? Well, he saved up a little bit more money and he started again, but this time with a totally different approach. He built a system.
He created a really simple but absolutely non-negotiable set of rules. Why? To protect him from his own worst instincts. First, he would only trade small, no more betting the farm. Second, he would always set his stop loss, his exit point, before he even got into a trade. That completely eliminated that old hope and pray mistake. And third, and maybe this is the most important one, he learned to wait. Wait for the market to confirm his idea was right instead of just jumping in because of FOMO.
And you know what his first trade was using this new system? A tiny $40 profit, 40 bucks. But in a strange way, it might have been the biggest win of his entire life because it was clean, it was disciplined, and it proved, finally, that the process, it could actually work.
And really, that one little trade, that was the beginning of everything. Over the next couple of years, this discipline completely transformed him. Ryan slowly, methodically, went from being a desperate gambler to what you might call the market patient. And you better believe that patience paid off.
So check this out. This is a perfect example of his new approach in action. In month 1, he sees a stock that's quietly gaining strength. No hype, just a subtle increase in volume. He enters a small position. Then what does he do? He waits. In month 2, the pattern starts to confirm his idea, so he calmly adds a little more to his winning position. Then, 3 months in, the news finally breaks. All the retail traders pile in, creating a huge frenzy. And what does Ryan do? He calmly sells his entire position right into that chaos.
And the profit on that one single patient trade, $3,200, which is great, right? But for the new Ryan, the money wasn't even the real victory. The real win was following his system perfectly from beginning to end.
And this right here, this is the core lesson of his entire journey. This is what it all comes down to. He finally understood that the most important skill in trading isn't making huge profits. It's preserving your capital. It's about surviving, protecting what you have, and just staying in the game long enough for the great opportunities to finally come to you. If you want more of this kind of videos, hit that subscribe button now. Thank you.